Hey there, MiniWarGamers. Owen here from MiniWarGaming with Dave. Going to do a video here on how to play Warhammer Fantasy, or at least we're going to play a game teaching how to play Warhammer Fantasy, teaching Dave how to play Warhammer Fantasy. So, Warhammer Fantasy, 1,000 points, Dark Elves against Chaos.
Yeah, we're not going to edit this, right? No.
No, we're not going to do that. Yeah. So here we have deployment of 1,000 points of Dark Elves against Chaos. Starting from the left, we've got 5 Chaos Hounds, 5 Knights of Chaos, unit of Warriors of Chaos with the Mark of Nurgle, and a level 3 Chaos Sorcerer, 5 more Hounds, and then another 5 Knights with a Banner and a Champion.
Yeah.
On the Dark Elf side, we've got 19 Crossbows with Shields, 34 Spearmen, and a Dreadlord. The Dreadlord has the Pendant of Caliph, the Crimson Death, and Armor of Blood. Then we've got Cold One Knights, no upgrades, and another 10 Crossbows with Shields. And no terrain really. We rolled off. The Dark Elves are going first.
Alright, so this is fun stuff, and I'm learning how to play this game, and I'm loving my life because it's Warriors of Chaos. So this is what I just learned. At the beginning of the game, Owen and I, we roll off to see who deploys first. So whoever wins gets to deploy first, and whoever finishes deploying, so the player with the least amount of units, I guess it would be, right, gets a +1 to the who goes to go first roll. That's not what that's called, but that's what it is. What do you call that? Who gets
That
to
works.
Go first?
Yeah, who gets to go first?
Yeah, because deploying first and going first are different.
Yeah.
And I just learned that. So it's a good thing to know.
So in this case, Dark Elves are going first.
Yep, you beat me. Alright, so it's time to roll for spells, right, Owen?
Yeah.
Alright, so with these Chaos Dice that Craig and Minion Sons made, thank you very much, Craig, we are going to, well, I'm going to. Are you going to do this too?
No, I don't have a sorcerer.
You don't have a sorcerer?
Nope.
So only I have a sorcerer?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. And there's different lores. I have no idea what they do, I just know the name that's really big. Metal, light, heavens, shadow, death. I'm going to do death because it just sounds cool. And it's 3d6?
Because you're a level 3 wizard.
I'm a level 3 wizard, alright. And if I... Basically, the numbers on the pips that come up, I get to get those abilities. Unless I roll doubles, then I get to choose.
Right. You get that one, plus you get to choose the other dice.
Okay, so let's just roll it. The symbols are 6s. Alright, so that means I get to choose 1, and then I get 3, and then I get 5?
That's right.
Okay. So 3, Soul Blight. It's a hex spell at a range of 24 inches. The target is... Okay, so these are the abilities that I have. I have Soul Blight, which is basically minus your toughness and strength until my next magic fix. It's a range of 24 inches, and that's how that works. So my plan is to do that, plus the 5 that I got, which is the Fate of Bajuna. That's just how we're going to pronounce it. And how that works is I roll 2d6, minus your toughness, which is 3 in this case. And that's how many dice I get to roll. And on a 2 up, you take wounds without saves. That sounds like it's incredibly powerful. There's something very warm and fuzzy by my face. Why do you have to do stuff? And then there's the Caress of Lanip. Sure, we're just going to say it like that. And that's essentially the same thing as the Fate of Bajuna. The only differences are it's against your strength, not your toughness.
Yeah.
And I roll 4 up, not a 2 up.
To do wounds.
To do wounds that you don't get saves for. Does that all sound right?
Welcome to fantasy.
That sounds incredibly powerful.
Yep.
I have nothing to compare it to. I don't know any of the other spells right now. All I know is that the lore of death sounds like my lore. So another thing I just learned about these is that with the exception of Soul Blight, these 2 abilities are only targeting one guy. One unit? Not
character.
Unit, one character, sure. Whereas Soul Blight, I'm able to do a unit. And if I double the cast, is that jargon right?
Double value, yeah.
Double the value?
Increase the
Increase
strength, whatever.
The 9 plus.
Make it better.
Make it better. Then it's within 24 inches of my target. So all of the units within 24
Well,
inches.
within of the caster.
With the caster.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
All right.
Dark Elf turn 1. First step, declaring charges. Not going to declare charges. Cold ones need to test for stupidity. So it's their leadership check, which they pass, so they don't stumble forward.
What does stupidity do?
If you fail a stupidity check, you move forward a d6. That's it.
Is that for any army?
Anyone who has stupidity. Yeah.
And are my guys, do they have stupidity?
Trolls do. Giants do. Pretty sure.
And your guys do too.
It's because our mounts are not very controllable.
They're stupid.
Well, it's... yeah, sure. It gives them stupidity because they're really, really, really angry, and our guys have trouble controlling them.
Wouldn't that be like rage or frenzy?
No. You'd think, but no.
Okay. Because that sounds better.
We have another mount that has rage and frenzy and whatnot.
Okay.
Anyway.
So no charges. You're not
No
gonna
charges.
Okay. Is it too far away, or you still want to chart me?
Not too far away. Like, movement 7.
Now you're pre-measuring here. You're allowed to
24.
pre-measure?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
You can pre-measure. So, 24. You'll move 8.
So after charge, or no charge in your case, what's after that?
So charge, declaring charges, then movement. So moving my units. Dark Elves base movement of 5. So I can choose to either move 5 or I can march and go double my movement.
Yep.
So in this case, they're just going to move 5. Cold ones are a movement of 7. They're going to move 5 as well. And these guys are going to move.
So with movement, this right here, for example, you're not able to just simply move it up. You have to like pivot.
Yeah. So you stop on a corner.
Yep.
And then you pivot. So it's 1 inch, 2 inches. And that counts towards their 5 inches of movement.
Okay.
So they can then move 3 inches in a straight line.
Okay.
These guys,
So I'll move this, right?
yeah, slightly out of range.
Out of range of what? Shooting?
Yeah. Because they have 24-inch range on their crossbows.
Yep. And if you move up, then you get a penalty to your ballistic skill?
Yep. -1 to hit when you move.
What is your ballistic skill right now?
Full.
And is that out of 7, just like 40k?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's, well, actually, it goes up to 10 in fantasy, but yeah. Because there's guys who have ballistic skills like 9 and 10.
And what happens in that case?
You roll the hit, it's a 2+ to hit, and if you roll a 1, you get to roll again.
And,
Like-
and it's not like a 4 to hit next to it, it's also a 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, assassins in the Dark Elf book,
Yep.
their weapon skill and ballistic skill 10.
Yeah.
So 2 to hit, 2 to hit, or shoot.
That sounds awesome.
Initiative 10 too. And they always strike first.
So then why isn't everyone that...
Because they're 90 points each. They're not that good.
Well, it sounds like they're pretty good.
Yeah. Next would be magic phase.
Okay.
I don't have any wizards, so we're not even going to do it for me.
Okay.
Normally we'd roll and I get that many power dice and I can cast spells, but I don't have any spells, so I'm not going to do it. And then shooting. I am going to do this.
24-inch range, now all your guys have to be in range?
Yep. Well, they don't all have to be in range. Everyone who is in range can shoot. And as far as front arcs are concerned, because you only have 45, you can actually, with shooting, it's the same as with assaulting in combat. The first and second rank can shoot. There's long bows and other bows that can fire a volley, so they get half of the following ranks.
Yeah.
You guys don't have that. But so basically, the front 10 and the back 9 can shoot.
Sounds good.
And they're going to shoot multiple shots. They can all shoot twice. So they're going to shoot 38 times. So,
38 times.
yeah,
Now who are you shooting at?
those hounds.
These hounds right there?
Yeah. Okay. And one of them actually has a better ballistic skill. He's their captain. So they moved. So that's -1. So they had a ballistic skill 3. They're shooting twice. So it's another -1. So ballistic skill 2. And they're shooting twice. Or sorry, now they're shooting past half range. So it's an additional -1. So they need 6s to hit.
Okay.
The red dice need 5s to hit. Because he has ballistic skill 5 bits.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good number of 6s. You had how many dice in there? 38?
38. Yeah. Well, 36 white ones.
So you should have like 6 or 7. And you have 7. Oh, would you look at that? I guess when you're rolling that many dice, it becomes exactly statistical. That's kind of nice.
My crossbows do it. They just throw enough shots out there. And then it's strength 3 against
Toughness 3.
So 4 to wound.
Okay. And then
You don't have an armor save.
because I didn't take that upgrade,
If you did, you wouldn't have an armor save anyway, because they have armor piercing shots.
so it'd be a waste.
Yeah. So you lose 3 of them.
All right. Does it matter which ones I lose?
No.
Okay. Then
It would be the back rank, but you don't have a back rank.
So I'll choose those because they're further away from you.
Yeah.
Do I have to make some sort of leadership check here?
You would have to do a panic check now.
Oh, panic. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
So you never do anything leadership-wise. You don't have to roll for leadership.
There's panic and morale checks, I believe, which is basically combat. If you lose combat, you do a leadership check.
Leadership or morale?
There's not a difference. It's not like 40k where there's leadership, morale, pinning, panic, whatever.
Yeah.
There's pretty much panic checks that you take from losing 25% from shooting or magic. There's units breaking nearby and units fleeing through you. And then there's combat where it's whoever won the fight.
So do I take that now or the end of your shooting phase?
Leave it to the end of the phase. You actually have to double check that because it rarely comes up.
So as per page 62 of the rulebook under panic, it says that you take it immediately after losing 25% of your unit in one shooting.
Or in one phase.
In one phase.
Is what it says.
Okay. So I'll do that right now.
Yep.
And my Warhound's leadership is 5. Good luck. Is that right?
Pretty much. You do have the will of chaos though, so you'll get to re-roll if you fail this. Because it lets you re-roll their panic checks.
Oh. So that's a fail. And I'm going to re-roll. And that's a fail.
Yeah. So 2d6 backwards.
7.
And they'll face the other way now. Because facing does matter for turning around and stuff like that, so.
Okay.
That's that shooting.
Now, what happens next time? Do they automatically regroup? Do they have to regroup?
Roll to regroup. If you're down to less than 25%, it's on Snake Eyes. Otherwise, you regroup at your leadership.
Okay.
So, leadership 5.
So they'll probably run off the board.
Probably. These crossbows are going to shoot the knights.
Nice.
So 24-inch range. They're all in range. You'll do 10 of these guys out. Back range.
Did we already mention that the marker Nurgle is on Chaos Warriors?
Yeah, the beginning of that one, I'll be honest.
Okay. And that gives you a -1 ballistic skill?
Yep, it's another -1.
Another -1.
So they'd be hitting them on 6s and then 4s. If they want to shoot that.
Kind of nice.
These guys are going to shoot them though. 20 shots. The red ones hit on 5, so the rest hit on 6. 2.
That's not statistical.
So what is the toughness of these guys?
I hope it's 5, but let me double check.
5 and 4.
Chaos Knight is toughness 4.
So 5s to wound with our strength 3 arrows. Nothing.
Alright. But had you wounded me, what would my save be?
2+.
It would still be 2+.
Because you have a 1-up armor save right now. Because you have a 4-up save with your chaos armor.
Yeah.
3-up save with the shield. 2-up save for being mounted, and your mount has barding, which gives it another +1. So right now they have a 1+ save.
Wow.
Yeah.
But why'd you say 2-up?
Because their armor piercing shots would take off one of those.
Oh, okay.
So you go from 1+ to 2+. A 1 is still a fail on a 1+ though. Even if you have a 1+ save, it's still a fail.
Okay.
And that's the end of my turn.
Alright, so it's my turn.
Yep.
Chaos, turn 1. First thing we do is declare charges, right?
Yep. So it's your movement plus 2d6 is how far you can charge.
Right now. Movement plus 2d6. Now what if I declare a charge and I don't make it in distance for my 2d6 roll in addition to the charge move? Do I just not move at all?
You move the highest amount on one of the dice. So if you were to charge and you roll a 5 and a 2, you move 5.
Can I re-roll it? Do I have an ability to re-roll it?
Not in your army, no.
Okay.
They actually try and rally first.
These guys?
Yeah.
Helms? Alright, let's do that. Do I get to re-roll it because I'm...
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. No, that's not a panic test though.
No, this is a leadership. No, yeah, it's not a panic. It's just leadership. So they wouldn't get to re-roll.
Okay, so
in this
then,
case.
now I roll 2d6 off.
Yeah.
So unless I get like these same guys, I'm just... Okay, so they're off the board.
So 30 points of guys are up. They were shot by almost 200 points of archery. So,
yes. Now, declare charges. At this point in the game, I really don't know how any of it works, so I'm just going to plunge ahead, and whatever happens, happens. And then I'll learn along the way. Does that sound good?
Sounds like the way to go about it.
Alright. So, these guys are... I don't know their movement. Maybe you do. I think it's 4, actually.
Probably 4.
Okay, Chaos Warrior is movement 4. Would you look at that?
Now,
Awesome.
you can move 4, or you can march 8. If you march 8, though, your sorcerer can't cast.
Well, forget that.
Yeah.
Now, if I declare a charge, I
cast.
fireman Tim. Never mind, that's an ambulance, not a fire truck. If I move 4, or if I charge rather, can I still cast with my...
Not if you fail the charge. You can do hexes in close combat. So, like, you could do your Soul Blight in the close combat, but you couldn't do the other 2 spells. Anything that does damage, pretty much, can't be cast in combat.
So, right now I can pre-measure, right?
Right. 19 inches away.
Yes. Well, 18 and a half, I don't know if that matters.
It rounds up, so it would be 19.
19. That sucks. You know why that sucks?
Because you can't reach me.
Well, it's because I wanted to cast some sort of magical ability on your guy.
You can move, it'd still be out of range. Well, then again, you do have the increased range. You could make it the higher level spell. Remember that you can double its range by doubling the cost.
Which is what I'll do.
But you, yeah.
Well, then
So
I
you
can't
could
charge.
stay still.
Then
Well,
I
you
can't
could
charge.
move up 4 even still. You can still move 4 and cast. You just can't charge and you can't.
I don't think I'll be able to charge this turn anyway.
So no one's going to charge because you do have to decide for everybody before moving.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So everybody declares their charges and then everybody moves.
Now, here's a question for these guys right here, which you can't see on camera, but there's a squad of Chaos Knights over on this side. Since they're facing straight right now, would I have to pivot, then go? So that counts as movement and part of their charge?
No. It would just be from the closest corner to the closest corner. The distance that you have to charge.
Would that make a difference in how many of these guys are able to attack the guys in that unit?
It would still be they'd get the maximum number of guys who can attack will attack. So, for example, you have 5, so at least 5 of them would go up. They'd go right here, is where they'd stand.
And I can pre-measure.
Yeah.
So that's 23, because you round up, right?
Right.
And they have 8-inch move.
Right.
So
And they roll 3 dice and take away the lowest.
okay, so basically, I'm at 14. I'm right there.
You're not going to roll 14 on 2 dice.
No, I'm not. So that's not enough to reach you. So, but I can move 16.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make sense because then I'm way too close to you. But you guys are shooting. You're not going to assault my.
Right. And the one benefit is if you are within half of your charge distance when you charge me,
Yeah.
I can't stand and shoot. Like 40k, where you can stop, you can shoot them now on the way in.
Yeah.
Fantasy can do it too. And Fantasies is more accurate. You shoot just -1 to your ballistic skill.
Just -1.
Yeah, it's
Meaning
not
it's
on 6s. So
more
for me, it'd
accurate.
be-
You can hit
Yeah.
better.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
So if you got really close and then charged the following turn,
Yeah.
you would hit me, or I wouldn't be able to shoot you then. At the same time, though, I'd be able to shoot you really close. So it's really, you're going to get shot one way or the other.
It actually looks like I'm able to charge you. Now, here's a question. When I charge with my units, does it matter which unit charges first?
It doesn't, but it can.
Like, for example, I want to be able to charge you with my hounds. I'm going to charge these guys, whatever they're called, with my hounds
Coldwood
first.
Knights.
Coldwood Knights?
Yep. They would block the other unit's charge.
Okay, so that'd be dumb.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not a good idea.
If you're going to charge, you'd probably be best doing it with knights, because they're more likely to kill these than the hounds are. Good chance these guys will kill the hounds if they come after them.